Good evening, welcome back to the channel. We are going to talk about the election, the Hungarian election, which happened 12th of April 2026, so not long ago, and we're gonna talk about what happened after week one. So, actually, I woke up very early on that day. It was a Sunday when it was one day only, because I don't know how elections going in different countries in different cultures, but with us it's one day, and they kind of start to count the votes, and you need to do your votes in a way that there are there are certain locations where you go and you bring with yourself the identifications, all the papers. There will be someone, usually it's a volunteer, who will check your papers, gonna say okay, and gonna hand you a paper. So it's not a computer, it's not on the internet, it's not online. A paper and an envelope. On the paper, there will be a list where you can tick which one you going for, your vote going for this or that person, and then you're gonna put this paper into an envelope. You seal the envelope, and then when you return from the cubicle, you're gonna hand it over to the volunteer, and later that day they will count. So many polling station they close roughly early. I would say it would like 7 o'clock in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, 12th of April. 7 o'clock. It could be quite early. I think it's quite early, but they working with volunteers, so you can't really keep volunteers who are usually family people too long on that day, and yeah, and after that they start to count it. So I've been waiting, and I thought that I thought that the system gonna be down. So what I did, I screenshot the screenshot the results, because it was constantly updating, and I thought the whole system gonna go down. So I said it's really a piece of history. So at that moment we didn't really know who's gonna actually win, but I said I want a piece of history because it's going in real time, and I did the screenshot. But yeah, it was fairly obvious very early in the day that it's gonna be not Fidesz who was the governing party for 16 years, with Mr. Viktor Orban as a head, and yeah, that was it. It was a goodbye day, 12th of April, because Tisa and the leader Peter Magyar won. But winning like this, it with such a majority, it should end up sooner or later in the Guinness Book of Records. So what happened? What happened since? I still see videos on TikTok and Instagram about the people celebrating in Hungary, in Budapest, in the capital, singing and dancing, even in the underground, which is the second oldest underground system in the world. The first one is here in London, where I'm based, and the second is in Budapest. And people are dancing and screaming, and everybody is very happy. And after the results that the Tisa won, oh my God, the party on the street was going on for hours and hours. And I can tell you that Hungary, since 1956, the revolution, we were not trending in the world media. Probably most of the people on this planet didn't even know where the country really is. And after the results, I noticed that we are everywhere in every single newspaper, in the paper, printed paper, and on their social media as well. The people who I've been following for such a long time, because they did travel vlogs, which is one of my favorite genre on YouTube and on TikTok and different social media. They were talking about Hungary, and actually, a couple of them they even traveled to Hungary to show the the parliament, the River Danube, and just to talk about the situation. And I saw on traditional newspapers as well. You know, when you go on the main page, you can see a top list of the most read articles, and we were always, every single day, we were in the top five. And for me, it was very surprising. I didn't even know that people know where Hungary is, and they care about who Mr. Orban is, and what actually happened to him. And probably it has lots to do with the fact that Donald Trump's second man, G.D. Vance, just before 12th of April, before the election, came to Hungary and gave a speech saying how they support Mr. Orban. But one of the journalists asked G.D. Vance that what would happen in a very unlikely scenario if not Mr. Orban comes out as a winner, but the other one, Peter Magyar. And G.D. Vance said that we would work with him as well. and and because he answered that, oh my God, the Hungarian, what all the Hungarian podcasts, they were mentioning this, that it was very interesting that he said that. So yes, G.D. Vance personally came to Hungary to support the Fidesz party, and then they lost. 12th of April they lost, and the very first politician who said that Mr. Orban was my friend in the past tense, that it's like it's finished now. That was actually Donald Trump. And most people probably wants to know the Russian reaction, because Mr. Obama became famous being very pro-Russians in the European Union, and not Putin, but Peskov said that they were never really friends with Mr. Orban at all. That's it, finished. Never even begin. They were not friends. So you know that every single European country right now building their army. For example, in Germany, if you're a male between the age of 18 or 30 or something like that, you need to ask for a special permission if you wanna go abroad for more than 3 months. So every European country is building their army, and we were buying new planes called Gripen, and these are made in Sweden. And Sweden said that, oh yeah, well, we can't really do the order right now. It's gonna be a little bit late. We're gonna deliver maybe a week after or something after the election. Little side note that when the conflict started in Ukraine back in 2022 February, Sweden decided to join the NATO, and there was only one country who didn't vote for it, who didn't give the nod. That was actually Hungary. So Hungary delayed their NATO membership for a year. The others just told me that it was not Hungary, it was the government of Hungary, which is the Fidesz, who lost the election 12th of April. So Peter Magyar won, and Sweden delivered the Gripens, which are basically warplanes. The other thing was very surprising to me, that in the whole European Union, everyone was very encouraged to get off Russian oil and gas. And we Hungarians, because we are landlocked and we have no other way to get the oil and gas, and we didn't do anything about it for years and years. That's why we got the special permission that we can keep on buying Russian oil and gas. But what happened is that the pipe is coming to our country was damaged, and the whole reparation was like, dragging on for a long time. So to be precise, the Russians bombed basically the control room that controlling, the pressure and everything. Oh yeah, and it was going on for months and months and months. The Ukrainian worked really hard on it to do the refurbishments and bring everything back online, so the pipeline would work properly. But it was like months and months and nothing happened. Even the EU was helping them, everyone was helping them, nothing happened. And after that, 12th of April, when Mr. Orban said goodbye and Peter Magyar won, miraculously, the pipeline was fixed almost immediately. So we got the oil now. So everything is fine. So we have a second pipe. So this one, the Ukraine one, is coming from basically from the north, and from the south we got Croatia bringing in the oil. But the Hungarian government with Mr. Orban was arguing with both of them, with the Ukrainian, and he was arguing with the Croatian government. So we didn't get oil from north, we didn't get oil from the south either. Every single country has has some stock just for emergency purposes, and we were actually running out of that as well. So I can say that Peter Magyar won the election just in like basically the last second, so we didn't run out of oil. So before we Hungarians became trending topic on the different news outlets, there were a couple of articles and analysis here and there, and mostly they were talking about the illiberal democracy that Mr. Orban built in a matter of years, basically. And one of the first step was taking over all the media in the country, every single media almost, the TV, the radio, the printed newspapers, the online newspapers, everything. He took over everything. So that's it. The media is completely finished, and instead of um, doing proper media, what you probably get used to in your own country, we didn't have that, and instead of that, there were only messages from the political party, and basically that was propaganda. So no matter which one you watch, the TV, you watch the radio, or you read the newspapers, you got exactly the same opinion, exactly the same news, exactly the same headlines. Everything was exactly the same because it was completely centralized. So in the last few years, what happened is that people who left the Fidesz, they tried to build independent media. It was usually on the internet. These were online outlets, and you could donate money to them, like giving 1% of your taxes to them, or give them like £5 every single month or something like that. Absolutely voluntary. So they didn't use, in the beginning, they didn't use paywall at all. So everyone could read it, even for free. And if you want, you could donate it. And a couple of them became very, very famous, like Partizan, Magyar Hang, or Direct 36, which is Direct 36. And I need to say Wallace Online as well. And this is very important for us because, we are Eastern Europeans, so we don't really have crowdfunding at all. Almost all the movies, 99% of the movies what come out of Hungary, they were basically state backed. So it was made out of taxpayers' money, not private money. We are quite new to capitalism. It's very very new for us, because we were a communist, a socialist socialist country for a very long time. So many people argue that Mr. Orban was so successful to take over the whole country because we didn't really learn growing up how to do democracy. So these couple of web pages contributed to Peter Magyar's win. And this win was absolutely amazing. It's absolutely record breaking. Nobody ever in these numbers voted for one political party like they did 12th of April 2026. They did for the TISA. So first week after the election, the state media actually invited Peter Magyar for an interview, and that was hilarious. First, he said that he was in the last 2 years he was never really invited here, and he was basically the main opposition to the governing party. And he told the interviewer, just like to her face, that he gonna shut down this channel. He gonna shut down the whole channel. It actually happened in Poland as well. The state media went totally dark for a couple of days. So the Fidesz, after 16 years, lost the election, and very strange thing happened. Very, very strange things that that the people who lost, the politicians, they went on to this independent media I was just talking about, independent media websites and YouTube channels to give interview. It never really happened before. So Peter Magyar got interviewed on the state media, and the main politicians who lost, they went to the independent media. And oh my God, both of them were hilarious. Fidesz propaganda was extremely aggressive, saying that if they lose, the war will come to Hungary. And they said all sort of things, and they were fighting this with AI videos, which never happened. This is the very first time Hungarian election had AI videos, and they were absolutely horrific. Almost all of them were like should have been 18 plus. And they went on to talk on the interviews. They said that they were basically they were just talking about the love and how to be united, and like they're talking about a completely different reality. Peter Magyar on his Facebook page posted a video saying that still there's time until he will actually form officially his government, but he got the information that the people who work for the government actually taking their money, their wealth out of the country, out of Hungary, and they transferring it to Dubai or South America, Uruguay, and other places. Right now, Peter Magyar is still elected, so he doesn't have the power, not yet. So they're using this time to take everything out of the country. And we are talking about 1,000 billion forints, or even more than that. The reason is that they built such a cash pile in the last 16 years is because of government contracts, and these were all overpriced. So let's say the chair I'm sitting on right now is £10, but they would buy it for £100. So in the books, when they do the accountancy, they would put, oh, we bought a chair for £100, but it's £10. So what happens with the £90? Well, that's goes to someone's pocket. So this is how the billions and billions came together, and it's raw cash. And all this right now being transferred first to Vienna, to Austria, because that's the country next to us. And from there, it's going to Dubai and so many other Asian countries, and to South America, mostly Uruguay. So Peter Magyar said that everybody, the police, the border control, everybody should do their work. Otherwise, they gonna have a little chat when he will come to power. But one of the most important thing I need to tell you that in the last 16 years, nobody, absolutely nobody, not a teacher, not a journalist, not a absolutely nobody, even very rich businessman. Nobody thought that the Fidesz, the governing party, could be defeated in a democratic way at the polls, and it happened. So yeah, miracle.